Hello guys, it's an honor and pleasure for me to first of all congratulate Dr. Sundaresan for an astonishing rank of 29 in the recently concluded NEET SS exam, and his dream branch is cardiology. And all the more, he cracked the exam in his first attempt, which is even more special. And welcome and congratulations, Dr. Sundaresan.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, how do you feel now? So, do you really expect this rank in the first place, or you didn't expect and it happened just like that?
Actually, I didn't expect this rank, sir, because I was planning to join in the work actually, but then I wanted to might as well give an attempt for this exam because it was more of a last minute preparation for this NEET SS. So it just came, sir. That's it.
Okay. Having said about time, so how much time do you think one needs to prepare to crack a NEET SS exam, that too interventional specialty field like cardiology?
Sir, given the old pattern for this NEET 21, sir, it focuses more on the super specialty parts, 60% of it being in the super specialty part, and I did not read the core specialty during my residency, sir. Like I did not read Braunwald during my residency to that extent. So it was a little difficult for me. I was actually happier with the new pattern, but then when it again changed to the old pattern, I had to switch my preparation strategy. So that is when I just subscribed to this PrepLadder, sir, where to the cardiology, where I listened to Dr. Vivek sir's lecture, Dr. Shankar Gowda sir's lecture, Dr. Jostel Pinto sir's lecture. They were extremely helpful, sir, especially in that last moment. So that is how it started preparing, sir. And then more importantly, like more than lectures, it was more of MCQ solving that helped really, sir. Rather than the theory, lectures, more than the lecture and the theory, both put together actually help to crack exams, sir.
Yeah,
not just the lectures alone.
Yeah, so the MCQ part is very, very important. So
yes,
it's not just about the lectures. You can take the notes to any extent, it doesn't matter.
Yes, but and the Q bank of PrepLadder was very exhaustive, sir. The general medicine and the core specialty. So that was more I relied upon rather than reading theory at the last moment. So that was helpful, sir.
Okay, great. When did you start your preparation? In the sense you said it's about last minute preparation. So
yes,
when did you start your preparation basically?
Yes, sir. My university exams got over in August, July 21. It was in August 2021 that I started, sir. And I did not know where to start, but then it was only a start with PrepLadder, sir. So that is when I started with PrepLadder and just watching lectures and then solving questions at the end, sir. And then I did that for almost 3 months. Yes, sir.
Okay. So
then I gave an attempt, sir.
How much questions did you solve? In the sense, like you said, the PrepLadder Q bank is very exhaustive. And
yes, sir.
How many questions did you really solve? Like in the sense,
I think the core specialty in cardiology, there were around 20 mock tests. I think I solved all the 20 mock tests in cardiology, sir. And in general medicine, I was very selective. Like I focused on pulmonology, critical care, endocrinology, hematology, which I did not concentrate much during my residency. So I watched those lectures, like Santosh sir's lecture in critical care medicine and pulmonology, and your lectures in hematology. There were those parts in general medicine I focused, sir.
Okay. So you did prepare for the last 4 to 5 months, because there will be a lot of people who joined at the last time and they wanted to crack the exam.
Yes, sir.
I think you are kind of an inspiration to those people as well. So wanted to, in the sense, like even if you prepare well for the last 4 or 5 months, still you will be able to do it.
Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
What is your primary focus? Your primary focus is either the MCQs or the video lectures?
Sir, it was both, sir. Because understanding the concepts is actually important, sir. Like certain things, even how much ever we read, for example, electrolyte imbalance, how much ever times we read during residency, but understanding certain things was difficult. So that those concepts got clear only after watching lectures, and even hematology, sir. So certain concepts was understood only after lectures, sir.
Okay.
So both are important, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, which study resources did you rely upon? In the sense, like you told, like the prepared videos and QBank are the primary resource for your preparation. So, apart from this, did you rely on any other textbooks or any resources, or in the last 4-5 months you didn't rely on anything, only on the QBank and the PrepLadder videos?
So during last 4 months, was predominantly the app only I used, sir. But during residency, reading Harrison was one advantage for me, sir. I was able to cover, I think not entire Harrison, but at least some part of Harrison I was able to cover, especially the core cardiology I covered, and the rest selectively I did cover, sir. So that was one upper edge. But given the new pattern, I think it's entirely based on Harrison. So Harrison was one upper hand, sir.
At the last moment, your pattern also changed. It was initially supposed to be Harrison based and the general.
Yes, sir.
At the last moment, it changed to the old pattern, the specialty.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your dream branch is cardiology. So which factors did you consider while selecting your branch? In a sense, like people select different branches, but what made you feel cardiology is special and you wanted to select cardiology?
Sir, but my interest is first general medicine, and there is no doubt in that, sir. And cardiology, because it's just an acute illness, and the satisfaction at the end of the day that we get after treating a cardiac patient was better than treating a stroke or any other chronic diseases. That was one thing, sir. But when I say cardiology, most of them actually demotivated me taking cardiology. But being in a tier 1 city like Chennai, and people actually did not encourage me to take cardiology. They asked me to choose some better specialty. Like, I don't know what is better, but that is what they used the terms. But I felt like I wanted to do cardiology, so I just took it, sir. I didn't bother about those saturation of the field or something. I didn't believe in that, sir. So I just went ahead with cardiology that I liked.
People do motivate, demotivate as well as demotivate at the same time.
Yes, sir.
What they essentially say is their opinions. Ultimately.
Yes, sir, but it was, everyone's opinion was same not to take cardiology. I did not.
No, it's ultimately up to you to decide what you want.
Yes, sir.
I feel like still there are two fields which give you that kick, I would say. Like, for example, one is probably an emergency medicine. I don't know why people always discourage emergency medicine to some extent, especially in a country like India. So why is emergency medicine, cardiology, and even critical care? So these areas, why they give you a kind of a kick is because a patient will be having a flat line, and then, like, with your efforts, within 2 hours, the patient will be eating Italy in front of you.
Yes, sir.
So that's the kind of.
Yes, sir, definitely. It is nothing superior or inferior to any other field. So I feel like every other field, like it is as equal to as cardiology, sir. I would not say one is inferior. It is absolutely wrong, sir. It is not correct, sir.
No, everyone works in their own way. So there is nothing, like what you said is terrific. It's not superior or inferior. So everyone is like needed for the community in one way or the other. So let it be a cardiologist or a rheumatologist or a hematologist. Everyone is serving the community and everyone is needed in a way. So there is nothing like superior and inferior. It's always up to us, and finally it comes to our own interest and our own heart, where it is actually, it's our own dreams. So that's what we need to pursue, and don't listen to anyone. That's what even I would say. And which part of the PrepLadder NEET SS app did you find the most beneficial?
So one was, the first thing was the QBank, sir, because that was almost exhaustive, sir. I don't know, some references are even beyond the standard text, like and it is outside Harrison. Some reference books like Vihali was also mentioned in QBank, sir. So QBank was very exhaustive, and the lectures were really helpful, especially the last moment. It is absolutely not possible to read Braunwald in this short time. So watching lectures, like especially Jostel Pintosa's lecture, like they were like almost, when I look back at Braunwald now after the exam, it was like almost the same, sir. Right from the statistics, epidemiology till the treatment, it was like almost everything was covered. So lectures did help me in things that I did not read, and the QBank was very exhaustive, sir. Yes.
No, people, whenever
both were like almost equally important, sir.
People who crack cardiology, they always tell Dr. Jostel Pinto's lectures were almost like reading Braunwald. Like from
exactly, sir.
Top to bottom, chapter to chapter, it's like reading.
I realized that only after my exam that I took Braunwald and just read some chapters. It was like even the numbers were like same, sir.
Yes, people do say. I've
was,
spoken to a lot of people and they tell the same.
yes,
And
sir.
he has covered Braunwald exhaustively, and more importantly, he covers
Yes,
in a
sir.
very interesting way.
Yes, sir. And
That is what is more important.
he does not put it as fact. He just gives an explanation for the fact that makes us register things for a longer time.
Yeah.
So
Why do we do that?
really,
Why that number is there? So that explanation is what is important.
Yes, sir. Why that number? Yes, sir. That was very interesting, sir.
Yeah. So what are the challenges did you face? You said, like, I mean, you are a part of the COVID batch. So, I mean, people
Yes, sir.
who
Absolutely.
joined in 2019 to 2022, like 2018 afterwards, I would
Yes,
say,
sir.
like, they are part of a COVID batch.
Yes, sir.
That's what we call. So being a general medicine resident and being a part of
Yes,
the
sir.
COVID batch, what are the challenges did you face, really?
So almost the half of residency was ruined by COVID, and then I have to last minute close to the exam. I just had to open my books and read, and it was a little difficult, especially to concentrate. It was very hectic. So 1 week of COVID and 1 week of quarantine. Although it is quarantine, it is really physically and mentally exhausted, sir. And then it was more like when the exams were on May month. It was then postponed later to July, and it was only around that time that I started preparing properly, sir. And it was after the university exams that I actually started for focusing NEET SS, sir, not during the residency. That was probably a mistake that I did, because had I started preparing during my residency, maybe I would have scored a little better. Or, I don't know, but should have been a little earlier, I think so. It was more of
people tell the same. It's not
preparation.
only about you, Dr. Sundaresan. Even many people
Yes,
who
sir.
have spoken, who have given the recent NEET SS, they have all said only one thing, that COVID has played a big part in their preparation.
Yes, sir.
And many of them
Yes,
couldn't prepare, and many of them didn't have an idea about where to start and where to end.
Yes, sir.
Especially when they completed their residency in July, they understood that
Yes,
their
sir.
preparation was very bad. And when they started their preparation in July, August, they started feeling that, like, where to start, where to end. And that is where, like, your PrepLadder NEET SS app comes into play. So,
yes, sir, exactly. That was the only source that I used.
Yeah, it gives a kind of an orientation to you, like where to start,
sir.
where
Yes,
to
sir.
end, which topics are important, which topics are not.
Yes, sir.
The Q bank, what topics you need to focus on. And many people even
Yes,
said
sir.
that the questions that came in the NEET SS exam 2022 was almost a replica of what is given in the Q bank also. Many questions were
Yes, sir, exactly. Certain questions from pulmonology, they were like almost, the images were also almost similar, sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
this is something, I mean, people often underestimate the importance of the Q bank. That's what I say. Like,
yes, sir.
Q bank is also extremely important, and there is a separate team, and including the faculties who are working to make the Q bank better. So I'm not telling videos are not important. Videos are also extremely important, because like what you said in the beginning, unless and until you grab the concepts, it's very difficult to solve the Q bank. So once you grab the concept, even if there are some 3-4 questions out of the box which is not given in the lectures, you will still feel motivated to know extra information from the Q bank. That's what I would. So
and this year's NEET question paper was also not typical of the previous years. This time the core cardiology was kind of it was only about the concepts rather than putting the facts straightforward, sir. So definitely, yes, rote memory would definitely not be helpful here, sir.
Yeah, and going down the lane, I think from the next year onwards, it's going to be only general medicine. It's not going to be like any specialty field. It's only going to be general medicine, and 100% you're going to get questions only from high likelihood of getting questions from Harrison. That's what I want to say. So I believe that the residents who are preparing right now should be more focused on Harrison, and especially the Harrison. And I think that's going to be the key for cracking the next exam. And okay, so boiling down to the last question. So this will be the last question for you, Dr. Sundaresan. What is your message to all the SS aspirants who are preparing right now? So what do you want to say to them?
I think there will be two groups of aspirants. One would be those who are doing their residency. I think for them it's very straightforward that it is Harrison, which is the book of their own field. So that would be not much of any question. They would be preparing it by then along simultaneously. But for those who have failed their attempts, or those who are aspirants, and those aspirants, they can actually start preparing with platform like, I think PrepLadder is one good suggestion, one of the suggestions of many that I could suggest, because I used only that, so I could not comment about anything else. In PrepLadder, like, we can orient ourselves to the new pattern, as how the questions would be, because how much ever chapter we read, where to focus and which part of the chapter to focus for NEET SS point of view is definitely from sources like PrepLadder was pretty much good, sir. Yeah.
The students who are preparing in the last moment, so what do you want to say to them? Maybe they will not have sufficient amount of time.
I think in that time it is more of focus towards solving Q banks rather than concentrating on the theory part would be better, sir. Because even I did the same in the last moment. It wasn't practically possible to even video lectures. I couldn't do it completely, sir. It was only selective topics that I did. So it was only the Q banks that I solved almost the entire Q bank I solved in cardiology and selectively in general medicine. So I think solving Q banks would be better in the last moment preparing.
Anyways, thank you, Dr. Sundaresan, and it's been wonderful talking to you. Actually, you have kind of a clarity. Like very few students have that kind of a clarity, and you have that depth in your thinking. And you even said before starting the interview, you even said that you are going to join Madras Medical College, DM Cardio. And yeah, being from Chennai, like I hope we can meet someday.
Yes, sir.
When you're in Chennai.
I mean, during a residency, I would have attended the Mehta Hospital classes, sir. So during my residency, that was pretty much good, sir.
Yeah, we used to contact Mehta Medical College.
Yes, sir.
Again, COVID ruined that also.
Yes, it was more of online classes. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
It's more of online. But anyway, we are planning to kickstart that also later on. So we'll be doing that probably next month on. So we'll be doing in-person meeting also. Hopefully, like on fine day, like we'll be calling you as a faculty as well for cardio lectures. So on summer time. And thank you very, very much. And one more time, I like the clarity in the way you speak. So very few people have that. And wish you all the very best. And we'll meet soon. Thank you so much, Dr. Sundaresan. Thank you. And
thank you so much,
all the very best. And congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.